My name is Marco De Sousa, born and raised in a small town called Bloemhof in South Africa. And it's a very rural town. Little to no one spoke English when I grew up, so my first language is Afrikaans. And then with time, I have cousins that's from bigger cities. They only speak English, so I had to adapt. That's where I learned English. And in such a small town, it was quite difficult to know what's outside of it. So what I did is usually I followed my sister's tracks. She went to university an hour away, 2 hours away from my hometown. I did the exact same thing. And then with time, I started to explore what could my other opportunities be.
So briefly, in Afrikaans, tell me what you studied in college.
Ek het 'n bakkalaureusgraad in chemiese ingenieurswese. Dit het 4 jaar gevat en ek het biochemie gedoen en dan ook sonselle en batterywetenskappe.
Translated means?
I did chemical engineering for 4 years with 2 main focus areas. One is biochemistry and the other one is solar voltaics with battery science.
So what was your initial goal once you graduated from college?
So right after bachelor's, I knew I wanted to do postgrad studies because I wanted to go into a more specialized field. But the thing is, after my master's degree, I thought I'm going to go into oil and gas, do the 9 to 5, start a family perhaps. But then it didn't feel right. And that's where I decided to pursue a PhD.
And how did you wind up at Texas A&M University?
I got recommended by an ex-NASA engineer. He told me that Texas A&M is one of the better places you can go to for an engineering degree. And that was all I needed to actually apply here. I did apply to a few other universities, but he did tell me as well, as a South African, I'll really enjoy Texas, which I can say now he's correct. I did photovoltaics and battery science research, and I found a few advisors that that's their expertise. However, after 1 or 2 meetings, I noticed our personalities do not match whatsoever. And a lot of people that have been doing their PhD here told me that that's a very important thing, is you need to really, understand your advisor, and there should be a good mesh of personalities. So then that's when I heard about this professor at the Energy Institute, Professor Pistikopoulos, and that his research group is very well known to have a good collaborative environment. And what I did was I had dinner with the group, and that's where I fell in love, and I decided to come to the Energy Institute.
And so did that mean that you had to change your emphasis, your focus on your studies?
Yes, and that was one of the most difficult things I had to do in my PhD. I think for the first 4 months, it was really a back and forth. Was this the right choice? Should I maybe change back to the other advisors? However, as I just continued working, the theory and the topic became easier with time. And now I'm here. I'm a bit more confident in my work. So I think that's a thing that made me and Professor Pistikopoulos really mesh well together, is the fact that he's completely hands-off. So for example, the other advisors that I talked to would have almost daily meetings and to see what you have been doing the entire day, where he and I would actually meet once every 2 months. And then he and I would sit down and just talk about what I've done. And if Professor Pistikopoulos really enjoyed the topic, we will push that further into maybe a publication or so. Starting on the 16th of August, I will have finished 3 years in my PhD. Then I'm doing my preliminary exam end of this year. And lastly, I will be graduating next year. So it's quite quick, and I hope we can stay to that time scale.
So tell me a bit about your trip back home after 4 years.
After 4 years, I had to renew my visa. That was the reason that I went back, and I can tell you now, and I will tell my juniors this as well, you should visit more often than that. It's tough. There's numerous things, right? Things changed, but not aggressively, but you notice it. People get older. And then also, burning out is a big thing, especially in graduate studies. I did not think I was burned out until I got my 2 feet back on home soil, and I noticed like this was long overdue. I saw my father, my mother, my sister. I made sure to go and see every single family member I could in South Africa. And I noticed that even though life goes on, you should make time for them. That's what I noticed. How I would describe the Energy Institute as an insider. It's a much more warmer atmosphere than what you would expect it to be. Starting as the first year I came in and I saw, the director, my Professor Pistikopoulos, my advisor standing there. I was like, okay, I'm not going to bother him, only when I have updates. But yet he would come to me and ask me, how am I doing? The entire fact that I'm not scared to ask questions or to ask for help, especially for people that are higher up than me, made a world's difference. Also the entire fact that I can walk up to any door knock on the door and open up, ask, hey, can I have 2 minutes of your time? That's brilliant. It saves time, it makes you not overthink. You can get answers quickly so you can make decisions on the spot when it's necessary. That is something I saw that you do not see that in a lot of academic institutions.